is it doing that?
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Here.
Mr. Franco.
I'm here.
And Mr. Cabrera.
I am here. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, the notice requirements have been satisfied as to the time, place, and date of holding said meeting by posting notice on the bulletin board here in Borough Hall and by emailing the same to the Herald of Cape May County and the Press of Atlantic City on October 15th, 2024. In the event of an emergency, your emergency exit is the door that you came in, which is our front left, your back right, or the door just by the American flag. We're going to, a couple quick announcements here first. We're going to do a sound check on the borough's Facebook and the YouTube channel audio. It looks like we're good to go. This meeting is being shown live on those respective channels. If in the event you're watching this meeting live and you have a public comment you would like to make, you're going to dial the access code 888-363-4734. And when prompted, you're going to enter the access code 9699020, followed by the pound or the hashtag. If you are watching this meeting live and you make a comment on the page itself, on the YouTube channel or the Facebook, those pages are not being monitored. The only way to make a public comment is by calling in here to the conference line. If you watch the recorded version of this meeting and you have questions or comments, you're more than welcome to email our clerk at clerk@wildwoodcrest.org or phone her at 609-729-8040. Madam Clerk, we have two ordinances, two for adoption and two to intro.
That's correct. The first is Ordinance 1460 regarding insurance requirements.
Motion that ordinance number 1460 be placed on second reading and final passage by title only.
Second it.
It has been moved and seconded that ordinance number 1460 be placed on second and final reading by title only.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Ordinance 1460 reads as follows. An ordinance of the Borough of Wildwood Crest amending and supplementing Chapter 85 of the Borough of Wildwood Crest Land Use Ordinance to regulate insurance requirements for wireless communication facilities in the public rights of way.
Motion that a public hearing now be held on ordinance number 1460.
Second that.
It has been moved and seconded that a public hearing on ordinance number 1460 now be held.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes. Floor is open for public comment on ordinance number 1460 and 1460 only. Start with anybody here in the audience. I don't believe we have anybody on the conference line. Still hearing the music. Okay. Anybody else in the audience? Last call, ordinance number 1460. Hearing no public comment.
Motion that a public hearing on ordinance number 1460 now be closed.
Second it.
It has been moved and seconded that the public hearing on ordinance number 1460 now be closed.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Motion that ordinance number 1460 be passed on second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Can I get a second?
I'm sorry. You got it. Second.
Second. It's been moved and seconded that ordinance number 1460 be passed on second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next, we have Ordinance 1461 regarding traffic signals.
Motion that ordinance number 1461 be placed on second reading and final passage by title only.
Second it.
It has been moved and seconded that ordinance number 1461 be placed on second and final reading by title only.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Ordinance 1461 reads as follows. An ordinance of the Borough of Wildwood Crest amending and supplementing Article 13 of Chapter 79, Vehicles and Traffic, of the Code of the Borough of Wildwood Crest to regulate traffic signals within the borough.
Motion that a public hearing now be held on ordinance number 1461.
I'll second it.
It has been moved and seconded that a public hearing on ordinance number 1461 now be held.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes. Floor is open for public comment. Ordinance number 1461. Start with anybody here in the audience. Nobody's on the conference line. Last call, comments, ordinance number 1461. Hearing none.
Motion that a public hearing on ordinance number 1461 now be closed.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the public hearing on ordinance number 1461 now be closed.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Motion that ordinance number 1461 be passed on second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that ordinance number 1461 be passed on second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next, we have ordinance 1462, and it reads as follows. An ordinance of the Borough of Wildwood Crest repealing Article 1 Public Conduct, Section 48-12 through Section 48-12.4 of Chapter 48, Peace and Good Order.
Motion that ordinance number 1462 be passed on first reading, advertised according to law, be brought up for second and final reading, and public hearing on July 9th, 2025 at 9:30 a.m.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that ordinance number 1462 be passed on first reading, advertised according to law, be brought up for second and final reading and public hearing on July the 9th, 2025 at 9:30 a.m.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next, we have ordinance 1463, and it reads as follows. A bond ordinance providing for the acquisition of lands, 201 West Pittsburgh Avenue, in and by the Borough of Wildwood Crest, in the County of Cape May, New Jersey, appropriating $775,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $738,000 bonds or notes of the borough for financing such appropriation.
Motion that ordinance number 1463 be passed on first reading, advertised according to law, be brought up for second and final reading and public hearing on July 9th, 2025 at 9:30 a.m.
Second that.
It has been moved and seconded that ordinance number 1463 be passed on first reading, advertised according to law, be brought up for second and final reading and public hearing on July 9th, 2025 at 9:30 a.m.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next, we have the resolutions. The first is approving contract for Francine B. Springer as interim borough administrator for 2025.
Motion.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
I was going to do the same thing.
Yes.
Congratulations. Thank you. Next is approving contract for Patricia A. Faketix as deputy borough administrator for 2025.
Motion.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Spot again.
Yes.
Thank you. Next is-
Congratulations, ladies.
Thank you. Next is authorizing the reappointment of Peter Sattler to the Greater Wildwood Tourism Improvement and Development Authority for a term expiring on June 30th, 2029.
I'll motion it.
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing expenditure for the purchase of a John Deere Gator XUV 590M S4 under Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Program.
I'll motion it.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing expenditure for the purchase of a 52-inch Cowie 26 horsepower STC-1II Skag under Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Program.
I'll motion it.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing expenditure for the purchase of a 2026 Ford F-250 pickup truck for the Public Works Department under Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Program.
Motion it.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing sale of real property owned by the Borough of Wildwood Crest, known as 5900 New Jersey Avenue, and designated as lots 49 and 50 in Block 28 on the municipal tax map, pursuant to NJSA 40A:12-13A of the local lands and buildings law and authorizing advertisement of a notice to bidders.
I'll motion it.
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing award of contract for fiscal year 2025 NJ Water Bank number S340719-05, various sanitary sewer improvements.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing the Chief Financial Officer to pay the prescribed flat rate per hour to law enforcement pursuant to the 2025 Summer Shore Pedestrian Awareness Campaign.
Motion it.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing amendment to the 2025 municipal budget to account for additional funding from the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety for the 2025 Summer Shore Pedestrian Awareness Campaign grant.
I'll motion it.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing a contract award for an amateur sand sculpting contest.
Motion it.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing the appointment of Patrick Moran to the position of confidential assistant.
Motion it.
I will second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing the expenditure for the purchase of a gas diesel fueling station, Islanders, for the Public Works Department under state contract in the amount of $37,600.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is amending the 2025 capital budget.
Motion.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing advertisement for notice to bidders for New Jersey Avenue sanitary sewer and water main improvements.
Motion it.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Lastly is authorizing negative change order 2, final, and accepting work performed, and authorizing release of performance bond and accepting maintenance bond for the Seaview Avenue intersection improvements contract.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Motion that all bills properly authorized as submitted be paid.
Second. What?
Sorry.
Yeah. Got it. Motion. Second.
It has been moved and seconded that all bills properly authorized as submitted be paid. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Thanks, Trish.
You're welcome.
Stepping on his toes there.
Okay, next on the agenda is our public safety reports. We'll start with Captain D'Amico.
Good evening, Commissioners, member of the public. This starts just by touching on some information from the report to the Director of Public Safety from May 2025. The Police Department responded to 2,159 calls for service during that month, 1,279 requiring multiple officers. We conducted 116 criminal investigations. We responded to 320 service calls, 782 traffic-related calls for service, including 557 motor vehicle stops with 115 traffic summonses issued. We also conducted 490 training hours and processed 23 arrests during that time period. Also wanted to take a moment just to remind everybody we do have, obviously, the 4th of July coming up. Wanted to be safe during that holiday weekend. Want to reiterate the fact that there are no fireworks on our beaches or in our parks. So we certainly appreciate everyone's cooperation with that so that we can keep everyone safe and avoid any issues with that. We just authorized the Summer Shore Pedestrian Campaign. That's going to run from July 1st through July 30th. And again, that is targeted at creating a safe pedestrian environment, especially in our shore communities. That's a two-way. It's a two-way street. There's obligations for the pedestrians as well as the vehicles. So we ask that Number one, vehicles do yield to pedestrians that are in crosswalks, drive safely and abide by the speed limit. And then also our pedestrians have an obligation to wait at the intersections until the roadway is cleared and allow cars enough time to be able to come to a safe stop. So we'll be out there, we'll have officers out there enforcing some of the traffic laws around that safety initiative. Our big thing tonight that we really like to take a minute to is we'd like to introduce the new Wildwood Crest website for the police department. This has been a little bit in the making, but we're certainly very proud of the product that we were able to put together with OPS, which is the company that we've contracted with. It's a lot more user-friendly for our residents and our visitors. It is chock full of helpful information, very easy to navigate. It's also equipped with ADA compliance and features in there that we think is very beneficial. And if I can, I'll just like to go over just a few quick features of it, if that's okay with the governing body. Right from the homepage, you're able to navigate to some of the more helpful and user-friendly features. One that I really, really like, submit your cameras. So anybody that's either a business owner or a resident that might have a Ring camera or their own surveillance system, you can certainly submit that to the police department through the website now. It then overlays that on a map for the officers. So if we're conducting an investigation and we're trying to find some video footage, we're able to pull up your address, select the radius, and then pull all that camera information. When you submit that, there's different parameters in terms of how you want the officers to contact you, whether it be through email, phone call, if it's okay if somebody stops at your house. So it's a nice feature and certainly a nice tool for us as we're conducting our investigations. You're able to submit tips through the portal as well. You can ask the officers questions. So that maybe you just have something that you were wondering about. You didn't want to call county dispatch for, you don't want an officer to come out. This is certainly one way that you can post your question to the police department, and we'll be able to engage with you that way as well. We've been able to push out alerts through the new website as well, so you'll be able to sign up for that. If you'd like something that one of the officers did, which we do get a lot of handwritten notes and correspondence in that way, this is another way that the community can connect with the police department and let us know that our guys are out there and doing a great job. There's highlighted on the homepage as well, if we have any wanted persons, missing persons, or any relevant news, that would be out there as well as some of our community pages. The first one being, if you have a community event that you'd like us to participate in or host, you can certainly partner with the police department and reach out through the webpage now to connect with us that way, and we'll keep that updated for you. The community interface function, again, it's kind of like a landing page for a lot of the information, a one-stop shop. So any links, alerts, that Ask an Officer feature, all that stuff is kind of in that community interface. And then you can go about navigating the rest of the site for any more particulars. But again, it's a lot more user-friendly. I encourage everybody to please visit it, see what information is on there, what resources and links and documents and things of that nature that the new website does provide. That's all that I have for tonight. If anybody has any questions.
Public, any questions for Captain? Captain, I have a question. Can you order, under docs, can you order police reports under that?
No, that's not on there. If you're looking for a police report, you're still going to contact the records department. They'll be able to get in touch with you that way. I can check with the website though, or the web provider, and see if there's a way that they can put something like that on there.
Does the web provider have access to all this information, or is it just in-house?
No, sir. This is governed in-house. It's a private, secure network. This is part of a broader function within the department. So everything in here is secure.
Good stuff, man.
Yes,
Thanks.
I'll take it.
it's nice. We're pretty proud of it. Happy, and I can't wait to see what the public thinks of it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Captain.
Very welcome.
All right. Next up, Mr. Cripps. No?
Good evening, everybody. I don't have a presentation, sorry.
What about
Yeah, you do. It's right here.
I get that.
handout.
So what I do is the right report. Thank you. For the month of May, we did 94 calls for service handled. We did give mutual aid 12 to Wildwood, 5 to North Wildwood, and 4 to Lower Township, which was 2 were Diamond Beach and 2 were actually North Cape May. So that's something that we're keeping an eye on out that far. And we unfortunately had 2 medevac flyouts. One was for a traumatic injury and one was actually for a cardiac related injury. So those do get flown to definitive care. So within that window, our crews were able to get there, render aid, meet up with the ALS, and make our way to a landing zone, which is either Maxwell Field or the Armory. They can skip that and go out that way. So that's all I have for EMS. OEM, I see some other public. Fortunately, thanks to the governing body and our municipal budget, we were able to provide purchase preparedness guides, emergency preparedness guides. There is no test, so the mayor go with that. Again, it's a little snippet. We know not everybody is on social media or maybe has limited social media. That's what it is. So it's in there. It's basically handheld. For myself, I need my cheaters, but in there it gives information for stuff like today, like heat. Related injuries and stuff like that, things that the public is out there as much as we are. They might see something, and again, it's for their home. We'll have them here. I'm awaiting the holder for them so we can put them up. Get with Trish, we'll put them up here at Borough Hall so anybody can grab them, and we do have them for our Spanish-speaking folk as well. So, and that's all I got. Just hydrate. The summer's coming. Be careful with yourselves. As well as your pets, dogs walking streets and sidewalks. It's hot for them as well. So, yeah, I don't think any questions.
Anybody? Questions? Mr. Cripps?
All right, thank you.
Thank you,
Bill.
Thank you.
Chief Johnson has no report for the beach patrol this evening. However, just while we're talking about the beach real quick, I do want to say I did have an opportunity to spend some time on the beach this weekend. Public Works has the beach looking in tip-top shape. Congratulations. Porta pots look good, the beach boxes look good, it's well raked, the back beaches, so kudos to everybody. I received a lot of positive comments from the public over the weekend. I don't get a chance to enjoy the beach much, but when I do, I spend more time talking to the residents than I do actually trying to get my tan on, but I did get a little bit. But thank you.
Did you have a new rake on that beach? Yes. Yeah, it's doing a nice job. I do notice that.
All right, reports.
Yes. Motion that all reports received from the court administrator, chief financial officer, tax collector, chief of police, supervisor for the recreation department, construction official, fire prevention, emergency services coordinator for the EMS, and the Wildwood Crest Volunteer Fire Company chief for the month ending May 31st, 2025 be accepted as presented.
A second?
It has been moved and seconded that all reports received from the court administrator, chief financial officer, tax collector, chief of police, supervisor for the recreation department, construction official, fire prevention, emergency services coordinator for the EMS, and the Wildwood Crest Volunteer Fire Company chief for the month ending May 31st, 2025 be accepted as presented. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Motion that all minutes from the commission meeting dated May 27th and June 11th, 2025 be approved as presented.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded that all minutes from the commission meetings dated May 27th and June 11th, 2025 be approved as presented. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes. Okay, that brings us to the engineer's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Update on capital projects. We have several projects that are going through project closeout or in a hiatus. First one is the Bayside Bulkhead Replacement Project. That's definitely in the hiatus. Contractors left for the summer. We'll come back in the fall to complete that project. At that point, they will have the storm sewer tide valves, and they will be installed, and we're looking forward to completing that project. A couple of projects that are in closeout mode. The DCA Municipal Building Bathroom Improvement Project, reconstruction of Toledo Avenue, the 2025 resurfacing program are obviously all complete at this point, and we're doing project closeout. With the approval of the resolution today, the New Jersey I-Bank Sanitary Sewer and Roadway Improvement Project has been awarded, and we're going to move that into contracts and pre-construction meeting. That project's scheduled to start construction in September of this year, and with all things going well, will be done June of next year. That low bidder was Charles Marandino in the amount of almost $2.6 million, and so that was about $600,000 under budget, so we're happy with that bid. You also adopted a resolution tonight to go out to bid for the New Jersey Avenue Sanitary Sewer Water Main Improvement Project. That's the precursor to the county coming in and doing their project, similar to what we did on Pacific Avenue. That project will start work in the fall as well and go into June of next year. And just last item under grants, both the fiscal year 2026 NJDOT municipal aid and the fiscal year 2025 NJDOT LTPF for 2 segments of the reconstruction of Denver Avenue have been successfully completed and uploaded to the state. That's our
Okay.
report.
I got a question for you, Mark. On the valves themselves, the unit that we're gonna need to tighten those down, should we look into ordering that now so we have it in place, or how long will that take to get, and are we training anybody?
Well, I don't know the status of that, but yeah, you should order that.
Okay?
You're talking about the valve? The
Yeah,
valve?
the
Tighten it up
automatic
off the
valve
back of the
turner, yeah.
truck.
Yep.
Yeah, yes, I know we had discussed that. We just need to there's different versions of it that have to be ordered. So we.
Right, you want to make decisions based on pricing. Do you want to get 2 so that when the operation does have to commence, it'll take half the time to close them? So those are like policy, financial decisions that you want to.
What's the specs on the back of the truck? Sorry.
I got you.
How does that mount to the back? Do we have to buy a truck also?
So I don't want to profess to be the
Guru?
valve turning sales rep, but I think that could be mounted on a typical truck.
They make both. They make full trucks and ones that mount on there when we discussed it. We actually said we were going to wait. The manufacturer who the valves, he said that the lead time for that wasn't as long as the valves themselves, so we said that we're going to try to button that down this summer, to your point.
Okay, good. I just want to have them and not be able to use them.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's going to be, they won't be ready till spring of next year anyway.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Mark.
All right, anything else for our engineer, public? Nobody on the line? All right, we're going to go right to the administrator's report. Francine, what do you got? What?
You're hysterical.
Okay. All right, we'll go to correspondence. Dogs on the beach, this was one that keeps coming up by members of the public and also via email, so Trish added it to the agenda for discussion. Just want to make sure that we all understand where we are, and I believe, Captain, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that there is no dogs permitted on the beach at all year-round during the summer, right? And if they are, I know they're supposed to be at the very least on a leash, so I guess there seems to be some confusion out there as to what it is, so can you just elaborate?
May through September, there are no dogs permitted on the beach, whether leashed or not. So there shouldn't be any. I know there was some confusion where you're allowed to have dogs down there, at least among the public. So some of the feedback that we get when we go down and speak with people, they're under the assumption that they're allowed to have dogs either before or after the lifeguards are on duty, but that's not the case. There's no dogs on the beach during the summer months.
Okay, and in the off-season, some flexibility in terms of dogs are allowed to go down there?
Correct. They're supposed to be leashed.
On leash, never should they be
Never
running
should they
around
be running.
without a leash. Got it, okay. All right, thank you. So, I think the request was for us, we've had folks say they like it the way that it is, and we've had folks say, hey, can you loosen it up a little bit? So right now, just for purposes of where we are right now today, there's been no movement on that ordinance change at all. So as the captain explained, no dogs on the beach, period, during the summer months. In the off-season, yes, but must be on a leash. Okay. All right, next one was golf cart meter parking. I know that we've had some previous requests on that, particularly having some low-speed vehicle parking areas up closer to the beachfront. A lot of folks, they cite what happens in North Wildwood. North Wildwood's oceanfront street ends are different than Wildwood Crest, so we'd actually have to remove some parking or find spots to do that, to put in some EV. that's not a 2025 discussion because we wouldn't be wanting to change anything now, but I guess at some point, we just need to kind of keep it on the radar to see if there is anything or any areas that we might be able to add. So something to move it, if you don't mind, Trish, we could put that under old business.
Diary that.
Yeah, one of the tough parts though is because most of the end streets are hotels and they're not gonna be, there's no capacity for parking there anyway.
Yeah, it might be
So
some
there's-
areas, it may not be every street, it might be a couple, but someone goes out and surveys each one and just kind of see. I know that we did add a few on some areas that are smaller spaces are generally for the EV parking. They may not be necessarily on the ocean front, but there are some in town.
We'll take a look, thank you.
Yeah, ordinance 1347 lists all the locations for golf carts and for motorcycles.
Okay.
There's one in front of your house,
I'm sorry?
nothing in front of your house. Motorcycles.
All right, so that was it on the correspondence. Any other comments on that, governing body members? None?
No, sir.
All right, under discussion, there are no new business. Old business, the box truck ordinance, I know that that's being reviewed by the police department. Any movement on that?
Not on our end.
Nothing yet? Okay. 250th birthday committee, reminding everyone, especially next year is the country's 250th birthday. If you have an interest in serving on a committee and maybe come up with some ideas for events and programs, working with the recreation and the tourism department, send an email to our clerk so we can get you on that list. Municipal app is on hold. The historical museum is on hold. Traffic calming, I think there was a grant previous to today, and then I believe all the work that we had hired a contractor to do was finished as well. Back beach excavation, the emergency filling that we did in early May is holding up pretty well. Mark's office has diaried up a review for 2026 and to see if there's any other areas that may need to be addressed prior to summer 2026. We did have a meeting with our environmental consultant. Some of the low-lying areas we believe can be get higher sand levels by placing some snow fence out there. So that is something that Public Works and Mr. Lomax and engineering are going to work together on after the summer. Dredging, Mr. Franco, anything on that?
Patiently waiting from DOT. Have not received any correspondence from them after I sent them phone call, emails, and it's becoming ridiculous that they won't respond to us. So I don't know what the next step is, but it's long overdue. And I see other municipalities that have had their projects dredged, and ours has been since 2012. I think we've been trying to get this over the finish line. It's not getting any cooperation from the DOT. I'm not too happy about it. And I think our dredge committee, which I think is the only dredge committee in the county for a municipality, and we have not gotten any feedback from them. Completely ignored, and it's ridiculous in my opinion. It's unprofessional. So I'm not happy about that, to say the least. So yeah.
Okay.
Nothing's happened.
All right. New Jersey Infrastructure Pre-County, we just authorized notice to bidders here this evening, so Madam Clerk, I believe we can strike that now from under old business.
Will do.
Washington Seaview Beachfall Outfalls and Capacity, Mr. de Blasio, any follow-up from FEMA, from any of our grant writers? Are you aware of anything where these potential awards stand?
No,
Okay.
not under this climate.
All right. Why don't we, so we have Triad and Jim Rotola working on that. Could you, newly appointed administrators, send a follow-up email to them and maybe even get an update on that? Okay, Army Corps of Engineers and the DEP Dunes. There is a meeting scheduled with all the municipalities and the state and the Army Corps for July the 31st in an attempt to talk through the issues that this borough has, as well as hearing the concerns and the issues from the other municipalities. So they originally said no go to a meeting, and now it looks like we're making some headway to at least get to the table to continue to discuss.
Where are we supposed to meet on that one? Is there any?
It's going to be
Teams.
it's going to be on virtual.
Okay.
Yep.
I asked that too, Joe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lastly, Borough Hall renovations. There's a meeting tomorrow
Yes.
with the architect to talk through and walk through the building and some of the issues with respect to the police department, the exterior of the building, and some relocation of offices and so forth. So,
Do we want the department heads in that one, or not? Is this the first one?
This is the first one. They're gonna be here for the majority of the day, kind of looking over the property itself. And, we have a meeting scheduled at 11 a.m. with the department heads. I'll
Okay.
send out an email just as a reminder in the morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
okay. That covers all business. Governing body, anything to add?
Good, thank you.
No, all good. Thanks, Tom.
All right, public comments. Anyone here in the public has any public comments? We just need your name. Come on up to the podium. We do not need your address. Come on up to the podium. There's a microphone right there, so all the audio gets recorded.
Okay. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here today. My name is Mike Baker. I live at 105 East Rambler. I've owned homes here in the Crest for 40 years. I've been a full-time resident for the last 10 years. Before I start, I'd like to commend you folks and all the other borough officials for making this a really nice place to live.
Thank you.
A couple weeks ago, I was taking a walk through the neighborhood, and there was a house on the corner of Pacific and Rambler that's vacant. And the grass was real high, and I saw where code enforcement had a sticker on the window about notifying them they needed to cut the grass, and within a day or so it was done. So code enforcement is out there doing their job. My question is about the property on the corner of Rambler and New Jersey. The Popper property, I'm sure you're all familiar with it. Is anything being done about the place? I mean, it's an eyesore.
So funny you should mention that, because I spoke to one of the code officials. That matter has been in and out of court. There's been delays and requests made of the judge to grant extensions on getting that done. They had to supply, because painting is one of the big things. It looks, I see what you're talking about in terms of the outside of it.
Uh-huh.
So all I can tell, I know it's in court. I know that when they have the hearing, it gets postponed to another hearing date. So I know there was a request to make sure that there was a contractor that had, and they had an estimate by a contractor to get some work done. My understanding is it's somewhat of a financial burden. That's what we understand it. So it's in the hands of the judge right now. So,
But, I mean, is there a borough code that says you have to keep your property up?
yeah, that's the reason why, because it's not. That's why they're in court.
Well, I mean, how long does a process like this take?
Good question. I don't. I'll let our solicitor chime in, but I know that they have the opportunity to delay and be heard. And
I mean, as long as I've lived there,
Yeah.
nothing's happened.
I don't disagree with it. Yep. What do you think?
No, it's a lengthy process. And he's been in court years ago. He made some repairs, painted some things, fixed some things. I know he's paid fines. I know the construction office has imposed significant fines as well. So it's just an ongoing process.
So,
We don't have. So we can certainly follow up and find out where the exact status is right now. But I know that that's part of the delay, because I have my eye on the exact same thing. I'm not saying that, but you come down, you hit the stoplight, and you're looking around at Sunset Lake, and then you look over here and you say, ooh,
I mean, it's certainly an eyesore for the community,
not a doubt.
and I guess I just would feel comfortable knowing something's positive is happening.
Well, there is something that we're in court with them. So summonses were sent, they were asked to appear, and just like in any other case, they have an opportunity to banter with authorities. So we're there. I mean, there's only so much we're allowed to do. And I understand your point quite well, but there's only so much by law that we can do.
I don't know, you got that guy to cut the grass up the street.
That's a little bit easier.
Yeah. So I think that let us do this, if you don't mind. Let us check with the Lower Township courts And we'll also double check with our code officials as well, just to get a better status. If you don't mind leaving your name and number after the meeting or stopping in to see the clerk, we'll have somebody follow up with you to let you know where the exact status is. But I don't disagree with you at all. It's been an ongoing headache for the borough. I wish it would be as simple as, if in a case of a high grass, if they don't comply, our ordinance allows us, Public Works, to cut the grass and then put that charge against the
Right.
property. This is a different story. We can't go in there and just start painting the house, unfortunately, and there it goes. So there's a process that we have to allow the judge and the judicial system to work through. But
In the meantime, is there any punitive actions that go against the owners or who's ever responsible?
There's a property maintenance code, which provides for fines. Maximum fine a municipality can impose by state statute is $2,000. So you take them to court, you impose the fine that you can, that the judge will impose. It's not up to us, it's not up to these commissioners, it's controlled by the court. That judge is Thomas Keywood. He'll impose a fine, they pay the fine, if they don't fix the property, then you issue another summons, and you go through the whole process again.
Okay.
So that's, when I say it's a lengthy process, that's why. The courts no longer permit you to impose a per diem fine where you can fine them $200 or $1,000 a day and let it rack up. You have to charge them, you go through the process, you impose a fine, and then you do it over again. And it's difficult to cut someone's grass. Is reasonable to force somebody to spend $80,000 to re-side their house and paint it is a different story. They're going to contest that, they're going to fight it, they're going to push back the best they can, especially if they don't have the money or any other recourse. So you're in a battle, it's going to be protracted, we've been at it for a few years. And you know, these folks up here don't like it any more than you do, but as the mayor indicated, the borough is doing all that it can. We're not happy that it takes so long to do simple things either. One would think that you'd have the authority to cause somebody to repair their house immediately, but you don't. Certain circumstances you do. If it's an imminent danger of collapse, you can have a condemnation proceeding and tear down the house, but you can't do that for these types of things.
Okay.
So,
At this point, there is no, I
Yeah.
would say, end in sight for...
no, it's ongoing. It's ongoing, it's perpetual. It'll be something else after that, after it gets painted. I'm sure something else will fall into disrepair and they'll be back in court again.
Okay.
I just don't look at it when I go by, so.
It's
But I know
tough
some
when you
people
live
don't have
across the
that
street
luxury.
from it.
You're across the street. We understand.
Okay. All right, well, listen, thank you very much for your...
leave your, if you don't mind, leave your name and number after the meeting with the clerk, and then we'll check, and then we'll at least give you a call
Okay.
to let you know. Go ahead. You don't know. And thank you for supporting the Crest Merchandise Center of the Arts Pavilion. Saw that. Put all your banking account information on there too, if you don't mind. All right. Thank you, Mr. Baker.
Thank you, Mike.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Hladish. We're at 104 East Monterey. Thank you all for dealing with the craziness of this borough. I have a question, though, about our favorite lady, Wanda. This is our view in our backyard. I was wondering what the progress is on her property. It's growing over our neighbor's shed and roof, and over the other neighbor's fence, or her fence into the neighbor's yard, and then growing through the fence into our yard. And now the property next to hers has been sold, and this is our view of that property. So I was wondering if there's any requirement for them to clean up the open garbage bag that's been torn open by animals, to clean up the tarp, which is going to be breeding mosquitoes. We all know her yard's breeding mosquitoes and been reported to the Department of Health, but what's going on? Because this is our 6th year of mosquito heaven, and I was wondering if there's any progress being made.
I'm not sure there's any open violations on, I don't remember seeing it.
I had a conversation with our code officer, Brian Bergantino.
Okay.
I advised him what to do. If you recall, we had to actually issue a search warrant to allow Cape May County Mosquito Control Commission on the property to clean it up. Hopefully, we won't have to do that again, but we can do that.
Well, they came in, I called in, it was either April or May, because we've been being chased by mosquitoes early this year, and he came and went on the property, dumped some containers, and said he was going to call the Board of Health. I've heard she's got both Zika, malaria, and some other lovely mosquito-borne disease in her mosquitoes. And I would think that the borough would really have a big interest in making sure those are eradicated, because can you imagine a pregnant tourist getting bit by a Zika mosquito in the borough?
Are you saying the Cape May County Mosquito Control Commission was out there already?
This year, yes,
Okay, well,
a month
they're-
or two
they're the-
ago.
They're the ones that will eradicate the mosquitoes. Did you alert them to this information that you have, that there's?
Yes, he left a hang tag on our
Okay.
door that he'd been there and that he'd done what he could and was going to report to the Board of Health. But that was a couple months ago, and as far as I can tell, there's no change in the status of mosquitoes. We're still getting chased into the house by
Did you
mosquitoes.
call
I
him?
had to swat one off my husband's ankle today while he was shaving at the sink.
Did you call them again after they came?
I did not, because I figured he'd been out and done what he could do.
Well,
So
it's
do
a-
I have to call them
yeah.
weekly? Is that what?
I would, I mean, it's a maintenance issue. If she's not allowing them onto the property,
Well, I
Well, we
think he
could
got
take-
into the backyard, but, I mean, are the mosquito control and the Board of Health supposed to go in and cut down this jungle that she's growing these mosquitoes in? Or is that her obligation to maintain her property? And same now with this, whoever owns Jack's house next door, I'm assuming it's a builder who didn't get it in time to tear it down yet, so they're waiting till the end of the season. But this is what we're looking at out our backyard, and I can only see it getting worse and worse. This was Jack's. And now there's a big open bag of trash, been ripped up by who knows what, raccoons, I would assume, or possums.
did you alert the Borough Code Enforcement Office?
Not on
about
this
that?
yet, because we
Okay,
only,
well,
we
take
only
those-
found this week when we came
All
down.
right, but you don't want to take those
I'll
to the
come in
commissioners.
tomorrow.
You want to take them over to Code Enforcement.
Okay.
And ask them to get
Half
out there.
the time
Yeah.
when I go to them, they're like, ooh,
Okay.
okay.
Well-
I'll go to them tomorrow.
Mayor, I think
Go ahead, Cam.
we did have a conversation with I was there with the code enforcement officials. They are aware of this issue and they are working to come up with plans to remediate that.
For this one or
For-
this one?
For the mosquito problem.
They're next door to each other.
I'll tell you what, I'll catch up with you right after the meeting and
Okay.
that stuff, and I can communicate with the code.
Okay.
for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, any other public comments? Anything else? Any check the line here? Nothing but music? All right, that brings us to commissioner comments.
Just congratulations to Francine and Trish for their new positions within the borough. I know they're going to do a fantastic job for us, like they always have. So congratulations.
Thank you.
The Crest is very lucky to have both of you, so congrats. That's my comment. Happy 4th of July, everyone, too.
So, I know it's really hot out there, and we have all our departments working. We have the public safety out there. I wanted to thank Ralph, especially in this heat, for painting and freshening up the piano keys going across the street, so they're a little bit brighter for our tourists so they can see, and he's out there working hard. I know Public Works is out there. I could smell the trash trucks, and There's a lot of heat. I mean, you guys do a heck of a job. So it's good, and I want to thank everybody for that.
Okay, that's all I have. Wishing everybody a happy July 4th, Independence Day. Be safe.
No fireworks.
Hopefully the weather cools down just a little bit, but we don't want any rain. But I'd like to keep it dialed down the heat just a little bit, but it's all good. All right, I think that's it. Need a
Sir.
motion to adjourn.
Motion? Second?